Hey everyone, welcome back. Yikes here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 15 easiest heroes in Honor of Kings that can get you guys to the highest ranks in the game. So Grandmaster, Mythic, Epic, Legend, it's all achievable with these heroes. I'm going to give you guys 3 heroes from each role, so it's going to be total 15, and you're going to have a lot of options. You can choose whichever you like, and you can practice them and get to the highest ranks in the game. Even though they're super easy to use, you still need a little practice, but let's go over them and tell you guys everything about them. Alright, so first we're gonna start with the ADC or the marksman role. The first hero that is super easy and you can use to easily rank up with is going to be Lady Sun. Here's the build that I use for her. The build 1 and 2 are the preferred builds that I use. So it depends on the matchups. If I'm against super tanky users, I'm gonna use the second build. But if I'm against like people that I can just easily one tap, I would use the first build. So yeah, depends on the matchups, but those are the 2 builds right now. And you can use Purify or Flash depending if there is a lot of stuns. If you want to remove the crowd control, you can use Purify. If not, you can use Flash. Just catch up on the targets and kill them. Going over here, passive, pretty much basic attacks reduce the cooldown of your first skill. The first skill, you roll around the map and you're going to gain extra range and piercing effect on your next basic attacks. And you also gain movement speed if you are actually near the units. So like if you're like against an enemy target and if you're near them, you roll around, you're gonna gain movement speed. Second skill, you throw a grenade, damaging, marking, and sundering the enemy's hit. So you're gonna basically break their armor. It's really important to land your second skill to slow targets, remove their armor, and also be able to do enhance basic attacks to them. The third skill is pretty much just a AoE ultimate. You're gonna do a lot of damage and explode someone at a very high range. So super broken hero, super easy to use, a lot of damage, a lot of mobility, and I really suggest you guys to use it. The next hero for the farm lane role is going to be Hoi. Here is the build that I use. So build 1 is the damage build. The build 2 is the tank build. He can go hybrid. You can switch between the 2 builds. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, this hero, super strong. You can change the build as you wish. Has a lot of range. The ultimate is pretty OP. You're able to stun someone across the map and your teammate is able to clean them up. That's what you really focus on. So passive, pretty much he has stacks. Every stack is going to give him more basically auto attack. So instead of 1 auto attack, you're going to shoot 3 arrows, dealing more damage. First skill basically enhances your attacks for 5 seconds to deal more damage. At the same time, Hoi's arrows shoot to other enemies. So pretty much you can hit 3 targets if there's 3 targets nearby. And you're going to do 50%, damage to them. Second skill is the main damage used to clear waves. It does a lot of magic damage. It gives you vision in bushes, so you can use this to gain vision. And also it slows targets as well. Giving you vision is a really important part of this skill. You're able to bush check a lot of stuff and gain vision to stay alive. And then the ultimate, obviously, what I talked about, does a lot of damage. The stun, you're able to snipe someone across the map. And it does AoE damage as well whenever you hit someone and slows them. So it's a really good skill to combo. If someone is close up, you can use your third skill, second skill, combo them, do a bunch of damage, and get away with it. The third hero for the marksman or the farmer role is going to be Darenji. Darenji just uses pretty much the tank build. I don't think you would really want to go crit. He's a really easy hero to kill. Even though he has cleanse, I think the tank build is the best build right now in the game for Darenji. Super easy hero to use. And yeah, so pretty much you have 5 stacks with this hero. For the passive, the stacks are going to give you attack speed and movement speed. You can perk these auto attacks or the stacks on air as well. So you can pretty much just, attack and then go into team fights with 5 stacks. Really OP. And the first skill is really a decent skill to clear waves. It has a passive as well. After every 2 basic attacks, the next attack gains a random enhancement. So again, super easy hero to use, does a bunch of damage. You're able to clear the waves. The second skill is super broken too. It cleanses enemy CC. So if you have any debuffs on you or if you have like any crowd controls, you can use this to get away. And then the ultimate, pretty much you toss a yellow card as at the enemies. You're gonna do damage to them, you're gonna stun them, and you're gonna reduce their physical and magical defense, so you can burst them down. This is why going tanky is going to be really good on this hero. He's going to do the both physical and magic damage whenever you yan your yellow card, so it's really important to land the yellow card. But other than that, super passive hero. He can clear the lanes easily and get away throughout the map. And now going to the roam role. So roam, we're gonna touch on a few tanks, and then we're gonna touch on an enchanter. So the first one is going to be Zhongfei. Zhongfei, super broken hero, super tanky, has a lot of shield, a lot of mobility, and has an ultimate that makes him transform into a gigantic monster that does a lot of damage. But yeah, this is the build that I use for him. Pretty solid build, I would say. You can swap out some of the last items, like the last two items, depending on the matchup. But this is a generic build for you guys to use. Going over the passive, as you guys can see, whenever you hit your attacks or skills, you get madness, and then you can transform into weak monster. Where you reduce the movement speed of the enemies in range. First skill is pretty much a knockback, and you do damage to enemy heroes. Second skill, you get a shield. Whenever you jump onto something, you can give a massive shield to your teammates around you. Third skill, again, you transform into this big monster, and you're gonna increase your movement speed, knockback, and pretty much stun the enemies. So yeah, pretty good stuff. And then here's the enhanced abilities and what they do. Pretty much, if you're in the transform mode, you're gonna deal damage with your first skill. Second skill, you're gonna leap into the air and deal damage to all the nearby enemies. And again, third skill doesn't really do much if you're in the gigantic mode, but you're gonna be able to transform and do damage if you are in the normal human mode. So Zhongfei, pretty OP, has a lot of healing, a lot of shielding, and you can do a lot with this hero as a frontliner. The second one is going to be Mosey. He's kind of like a utility hero, I would say, a utility tank. Here's the build that I would use on him as a tank. As you guys can see, it's a little hybrid. It's not really like a full tank build, so you really want to utilize your second skill, hit the enemies, with your skills, slow them down, and then go into the fights and lock them down. But yeah, pretty much his passive, every fourth auto attack, you're going to be able to knock back enemies, gain shield, and yeah, as you guys can see right there, boom, there you go. You get a shield as well, and you're able to knock them back. First skill is a dash. You're gonna get a shield, and you're gonna be able to get the enhanced auto, same as the passive. Second skill is going to be the snipe. So right here, as you guys can see, you can throw this and you're going to be able to damage someone. You're going to stun them, and there's going to be an AoE damage on the ground as well. And the third skill and the ultimate skill, you're just going to pretty much just lock someone into an area where you're going to do damage to them, and you can stun them over time. So yeah, pretty good hero, a lot of CC, a lot of crowd control, and I would say one of the best like semi engagers in the game right now. The next hero and the third hero is going to be Dolia. Dolia is an enchanter, and this hero is super OP, probably the strongest enchanter support in the game right now. This is the default build for her. A lot of the top players are using this build, and this is a build that I like to use myself. But yeah, passive Dolia, pretty much whenever she's in the water, she reduces slowing effects, she recovers her health, mana over time, and her auto attacks do enhanced damage from the water. And right here, as you guys can see, she has a wave of slow water. So if she's on the land, she's going to slow targets. If she's in the water, she's actually going to knock people back. So the sound waves coming out of her have two different effects. On land, you slow them. On water, you're going to knock them back. Second skill, she just dashes forward. She's able to create a pool of water where she's going to restore her health, and the enemies, the nearby allies, actually not enemies, are going to be able to walk in the pool and regen their health and also mana. The cooldown is reduced by 25% if used while in the water. So yeah, pretty good abilities. And her ultimate, probably a lot of you guys are already, familiar with this. She basically channels her ultimate and lowers like her own cooldowns or the teammates allies cooldowns. So let's say you have an important ultimate on your team and you want to reset it again, you can use this and reset them. And she has an ability, there's like a heart shaped ability, as you guys can see next to the flash. If you guys give that necklace to someone, you're going to be able to prioritize that person in the team fights, so you don't have to worry about selecting the right ultimate or not. You're just going to automatically select that player. So yeah, that's pretty much for roaming or support. We have the 3. And the next role that we're going to go over is going to be Clashling. So the first one that I want to go over is Byron. Super broken hero. He also is very simple. Here's the build for Byron. This is the Clashling build, as you guys can see. And let's just go over his passive. So he has a passive where he charges his bars. Once you have 3 bars, they do different things. Each one of them will enhance the abilities. As you guys can see right here, he just swings his weapon into a direction. If the weapon is charged, he's going to actually heal and recover health and do more damage. And second skill is pretty much a dash. If it is enhanced, it's going to knock up enemies. If it is not enhanced, it's just going to pretty much just do damage to the enemies and slow the targets. And then here his ultimate. So the ultimate, if it's not enhanced, it's just going to give him shield and slow the nearby enemies. If it is actually, enhanced, he's going to get a stronger shield and, spark a wave that does damage to all nearby enemies and, steals their movement speed. So again, pretty good hero. He's able to get a lot done. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys Byron in game, just because it's really hard to just explain it through the videos. But yeah, as you guys can see right here, if I use this skill, it's not really enhanced. Let me just reset it. There you go. So again, we do 400 damage. And now if I use the skill again, so I'm gonna go ahead here and take some damage. If I use my first skill here, more damage and lifesteal. And let's just use it again. Okay, so if you guys take a look right here, second skill. If I use it, there's no knockup, right? But if you get a red bar, so if you get the enraged version or the enhanced version, you can knock up the targets. And here's the ultimate, how it looks like without the enhanced version. And once you use the enhanced version, you're going to see the big difference. You're going to get a massive shield. You're going to do area damage and slow targets. So yeah, super broken hero. I would recommend it. The second hero that is going to be for the Clash lane, we're going to go ahead and speak about Jiangyu. Jiangyu is probably one of the most broken heroes in the Clash lane right now. It was a support hero before, but now he's super tanky, a really good tank, and a lot of damage now, a bunch of damage. So let's go over the skills. So Jiangyu's passive, basically whenever you fall below 30% health, you're going to, have damage reduction. It says damage immunity, but it's not actually damage immunity, it's reduction. If you guys go to details, you can see right here, you gain 40% damage reduction for 6 seconds, and he has a 90-second cooldown. But yeah, pretty much every time you attack a different target, your basic attacks deal extra damage to them. Very simple. His first skill is also very simple. You just knock back enemies forward and then you knock them up, dealing damage. Second skill was the reworked version. Pretty much you gain movement speed and you're going to be able to do a bunch of crit damage and also restore health. The first attack restores health. The second attack does a bunch of crit damage. And then the ultimate is super strong. He's able to pretty much slash his way forward, do a bunch of damage. If people are in the inner circle or the inner section of this ultimate, they're going to take more damage. If they're outside of it, they're going to take less damage. And also he's invulnerable for 1 second. So he's immune to death during this. So let's just showcase that. There we go. So if you guys take a look right here, I'm going to try to get myself low. And when I'm 1 HP, if I use this and I get hit, I don't die for 1 hit. So it's a very nice skill to survive and keep yourself alive in team fights and do a bunch of damage. And what you can do is actually change the direction of this, right? So what you can do is like aim it this way, and then boom, flashback and just surprise someone. So it's a really good hero. You can do a bunch of tricks with it. And his second skill, as you guys can see, I'm gonna use it right here. You're gonna get some healing. Boom, a bunch of healing from the second skill. And it does give you healing as well if you hit the jungle monsters, or monsters in general, is half, I believe. So yeah, you can get a lot of life steal from just hitting targets using your second skill. But yeah, very nice hero. You can do cool things with it. You can just flash into someone and execute them. Or if you just want to leave, you can just do like a fadeaway shot. Boom. Just like that. The next hero we're going to speak about for the Clash lane is going to be Dawn. Dawn is super strong right now. One of the top, Clash laners and junglers in the game. Here's the build that I would use for him, both in side lane and jungle. The first and second build, you guys can copy those. Could also play support too, so he's like a all-around character. But yeah, going over the passive, pretty much whenever his health drops low, taking damage will enhance you. And while it enhances, your skills and auto attacks recover health. So, very strong. Second skill, you pretty much slash. So you do damage, and then once you hit an enemy target, you're able to knock them up. So yeah, pretty, again, good knock-up skill to lock down people. Second skill, you're going to pretty much grant yourself a shield. And your next 3 basic attacks, they're going to deal true damage. And every time you use this, you're going to pretty much reduce the cooldown for your ultimate. So you use your ultimate, engage on someone, you use your second skill, you're able to reset your cooldowns, and then use your ultimate again. So there we go. Let me just show you guys. So right here. Right now, if you hit anyone, you don't have really any life steal. But if I take tower damage, and if we go below a certain amount of health, so right here we have it activated, you're able to attack and gain a lot of life steal. And then first skill, again, you just slash someone and then you're able to knock them up. And if you use our ultimate, which is pretty much just a dash, and if you use your second skill and hit someone, your ultimate cooldown is getting reset. So you gotta really combo your ultimate with your second skill to get the cooldown resets, get the engages, and do a bunch of damage. So yeah, again, sick hero, a lot of CC, a lot of mobility with the ultimate. You're able to just go around, get around the map super easily. And you can even use this on jungle camps and get your ultimate back. But yeah, you stun people, you dash to the location. Very nice hero. Alright, going to our next role is going to be jungle. So Kaiser is going to be my choice of easy hero in the jungle. He's a top laner obviously, but I think he doesn't really do that good in the Clash lane. He's a super OP hero overall, so you can make it work in Clash lane, but there's better Clash lane heroes that you should be playing over Kaiser. He does really good in jungle if you do build a tanky version, and his kit is good for jungle. So yeah, that's the build I use. As you guys saw right there, let's go over the abilities. Your basic attack and skill 2 will do extra damage to single targets. So if you just lock onto someone, you're gonna be able to hit them for a lot of damage whenever there's no one around. First skill, you pretty much throw your blade to a direction, and this blade will come back to you, giving you heal. And also, you're gonna restore health, and it's gonna give you movement and attack speed. Second skill, you pretty much just go forward twice, slashing, and then knock back the enemies, and then you're gonna have this enhanced auto attack where you're gonna go towards them. And this skill actually has a passive too, which is going to give you health recovery, mana recovery, and movement speed out of combat. And then the ultimate, he pretty much becomes enhanced, gains a lot of movement speed, max health, physical attack, is going to get damage reduction, and it's going to burn enemies nearby him. So let's show you guys that in game. So Kaiser, So yeah, pretty much, again, passive, you just do damage to single targets. You do a lot of more damage. So there we go. I'm going to go under the tower. When I show you guys the first skill, you can see I'm going to heal from it. So this is really important to use. This is like probably his best skill. You're able to lifesteal, stay alive in a jungle, clear jungle fast. And then when you guys are out of combat, you're going to have the passive of the second skill come up, where you're going to heal yourself, max mana health, and you're going to gain movement speed.
The threat of death.
Second skill, again, you knock back enemies. You're going to get an enhanced attack. You're going to leap towards them. So he's a gap closer. And then ultimate is just when you want to go crazy. You want to use all your skills. You're going to have burn. You're going to have damage reduction. You're going to have, you know, increased stats, increased healing. But yeah, Kaiser super strong. I would really suggest you guys to pick him up in the jungle if you want to easily rank up. The next one is going to be Prince Langling. I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, you put him in A tier in your tier list, but why are you playing him? But yeah, Prince of Langling, a lot of mobility, a lot of movement speed, able to burst down enemies. So I like the hero. He's really good in solo queue, especially really easy hero to get into. He's invisible, and a lot of people do not know how to counter that. But yeah, Prince of Langling, super broken. As you guys can see, whenever you go towards players with the passive, you're going to gain increased movement speed. And right here, first skill is just pretty much a slash. You're able to slash the enemies. It does twice the physical damage. Second skill, you're able to mark a target. You're going to slow them. You're going to be able to, if you hit them, you're going to stun them, recover health. And yeah, pretty much going to explode them right after that. They're going to take more damage. And then the third skill is pretty much a dash. You're going to deal damage to everyone in the path. And then his fourth skill is the stealth. You always have this throughout the game. It's going to come up and you're able to go towards your targets and kill them. It's countered in the higher elos, obviously. A lot of people do know how to counter the invisibility, but in lower elos, you're going to be able to easily use this hero and counter everyone. And again, this hero is super easy to use. Let me just show you guys that. The combos are super easy. Pretty much all you got to do is just go to your stealth mode. If you want to lock onto someone, you just go to them. Second skill, third skill, first skill, you get out. If anything, you can just go close to someone. Remember, you only have 3 seconds before someone actually reveals you. You can see the red bar that shows when you're going to be revealed. But yeah, you can go close to someone and dash away, and boom, you leave. So yeah, this hero is pretty good. Even if you play it in the higher elos, you can go ahead and like silent push, and nobody can really catch you because you can just keep going stealth over and over again after pushing the waves. So yeah, a pretty decent hero in the jungle. The next one here is going to be Dian Wei. So Dian Wei, here's the build for Dian Wei. This is the build I use for Dian Wei. Pretty solid hero, can immune a lot of control effects, or not even immune it, I mean just like cleanse it. But yeah, a lot of true damage. As you guys can see, the passive, you can cleanse all crowd controls, and every time you do it, you're going to get stacks that are going to give you attack, physical attack, and attack range, up to 6 stacks. And then first skill, you pretty much gain movement speed. Your next attack is going to be enhanced and deal extra damage. Second skill, you damage and slow enemies in range, and you become enhanced on hit. When you're enhanced, you're going to gain attack speed and lifesteal. Your ultimate, you're going to jump towards the target, damaging them, slowing them while enhancing yourself. While enhanced, you're going to deal extra true damage. So let's just show you guys how everything works here. So there's nothing CC here that I can dodge. So I can show you guys a rage, but you do get rage from using your ultimate, so I'm going to show you guys that. But yeah, pretty much you stomp people, kill them. And to show you guys the rage mode, so this is 1 stack, 2 stack, 3 stack, 4 stack, 5, 6 stacks. So this is 6 stack. As you guys can see, our range is super high. We have a lot of attack range, and we're going to be doing a lot more damage. You can keep track of these stacks by the color they are. If they're white, that means you only have 1 stack. If they're yellow, that means it's 2 stacks. And you gain these by pretty much dodging abilities and like cleansing the crowd control with using your abilities in the proper time. But yeah, your ultimate gives you 1 stack every time. But yeah, super easy hero. It does a bunch of damage. You're able to just run someone down. You're able to just run someone, all in them with your ult, second skill, kill them. Or if anything, you can just ult someone as an engaged second skill, fight them, and just S1 and run away. So yeah, super strong jungler. I know I did say I'm going to give you guys 3 for each role, but for jungle, I want to give you guys Musashi too. Musashi is very simple, I would say. It takes you like probably 10 to 15 minutes to just like master the hero. But yeah, if you guys use the tank build, this is full utility build. You don't really want to go assassin with this guy. He does the best when he's full tank. But yeah, pretty much his passive, whenever you have stacks with your skills, you're going to do different stuff. The first stack is going to deal damage. And then the second one, you're just going to gain a dash on the slow effect. And pretty much his first skill, he launches a sword toward people, does a lot of damage. And if there's like any projectiles coming towards him, he can block it. So it's really good against mages, a lot of the, ADC targets where they, throwing out skills. Second skill is a dash. If you're able to dash towards an enemy or hit them, you're going to deal damage and grant a shield. And the ultimate is pretty much a lockdown. You're going to launch them in the air, and also they're not going to be able to heal for 5 seconds, I believe. So there we go again. As you guys can see, whenever you use a skill, you're going to have different effects. So first skill is just a slash. If you do have 2 stacks, you're going to launch towards them and then slash. So yeah, different stacks do different things. And dashing towards a target or through a target is actually going to give you guys a shield. So as you can see, if you miss a dash, you're not going to get the shield. But if you dash towards them or through them, you're actually going to get a shield. And you're able to lock them down. They're not going to be able to heal. You can see that purple line. That's the duration they cannot heal. So yeah, pretty strong hero. All you got to do is just like farm, utilizing your passive in the jungle. And then you just go to side lanes and kill people. So super strong hero. A lot of mobility. Pretty much it. The next role and the last role is going to be mid lane. So mid lane, if you're gonna start with Angela, is probably one of the beginner heroes in the game. But yeah, Angela, here is the mid lane build for it. This is the build that's very common. A lot of the top mage players use it for Angela. But yeah, passive, pretty much every time you hit your abilities, you're gonna gain movement speed. You're going to have 10 stacks. That makes you a lot faster to move around the map. First skill, very simple. All you got to do is just hit one person with it. And if you hit all of them, they're just going to get bursted down. Second skill, you throw a fireball, slow the enemies, stun them, and do damage to them over time. And then the ultimate, you're pretty much going to get CC immunity because of the shield you get. While the shield is active, you have CC immunity, and then you also laser beam someone. So yeah, here just to show you guys how it works. So pretty much every time you land a skill, so there you go, you gain these movement stacks that increase your movement. So you pretty much can clear the waves, right? So you clear the waves, and all you gotta do is just go to your top lane, help your ADC, or go to bot lane, help ADC, go to top lane, help the clash lane. So yeah. And whenever you're getting into shitty situations, you need some shield, you can use the ultimate. It's a massive shield. And if you're getting CC'd, like if you know like a big crowd control effect is coming up, you just ult and then just walk away. You can cancel this. You just click on it after a couple of seconds and boom, you can walk away. So Angela, pretty safe hero, a lot of mobility, a lot of damage. I would say it's probably one of the easiest heroes to rank up with at the moment. The next one is going to be Princess Frost. Princess Frost, super broken. Probably one of the most passive like mid laners. So if you guys are into like using your abilities, just locking down people and being annoying, you can use Princess Frost. Yeah, so here's the build for Princess Frost. Pretty default build. This is what you would use if you were to play Princess Frost in the mid lane. As you guys can see, upon leaving combat, you gain a shield. And whenever someone attacks you, they're going to get slowed. When the shield disappears, deals damage to nearby enemies. Every third attack is enhanced, inflicting extra damage and chill effects. First skill is pretty much damages and slow the targets and grants vision. And then second skill, after a brief delay, you're able to freeze people. Slow them too. As you guys can see, whoever is frozen, they're going to take more damage. And then the ultimate, the most annoying skill in the game, probably, you're going to have this big circle where it's just going to inflict damage and slow enemies. So yeah, this hero probably doesn't really need explaining, but let me just show you guys. The combo is very simple. You just like, you either want to like second skill and then first skill and ult someone for the maximum damage, or you want to slow someone, second skill right past them and ult right on top of them. But yeah, super strong and annoying hero. And here's how the auto attack works. You're able to auto attack, and as you guys can see, every third auto attack you have an enhanced auto. So pretty stupid strong hero. And then for last hero for the mid lane is going to be Lady Zen, another caster that's super strong. Here's the build for Lady Zen and Arcana. And yeah, passive, hit enemies with skills 3 times for in a short period of time, and they're gonna deal extra damage and freeze them. First skill, you're gonna be basically able to cast this, you know, block that's gonna deal damage and launch enemies. And people that are in the center, they're gonna take more damage. And if you're like close to this, you're gonna actually be able to gain invincibility. I'm gonna show you guys that in a bit. But second skill is pretty much you throw an orb and it's gonna bounce between enemies and damage and stun them possibly. And there's your ultimate, a big pool of water that deals damage and slows enemies. So yeah, this hero is super OP and super safe. And this is what I was talking about. So if you guys drop this and you walk in it, you're gonna be untargetable. You're actually gonna freeze. Otherwise, if you just drop it on someone, it's gonna damage them and knock them up. But yeah, you can pretty much just go ahead and knock up someone, and you can actually walk up to this. So you can like dive someone on their tower, boom. You knock up, make yourself untargetable. So you can just like use this as an engage ult, and boom, you stand on top of it, and you just kill people. So yeah, super strong, annoying hero. If someone is diving you, he can just like go in this, boom. And then you can just flash out of it. So yeah, super strong, super annoying hero, as I said, for the 5th time probably. But yeah, these are the easiest heroes in the game, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. I know I did say it's going to be 15 characters, but we did make it 16 with Musashi. But yeah, let me know if you guys think this list is good or not. This is for, you know, all the beginners. This is the easiest heroes in the game to pick up. These are not the best, obviously. I did a tier list where I ranked all the S or like SSS or SS actually heroes that are like really high, you know, high damage, high tier, and challenging to play. But these heroes are very simple. The skills are really easy to use. I think the hardest one in this list probably would have been like Dolia, because you need to time your ultimates to use them, and maybe like Mosey, because you got to land that second skill and know when to use your passive. But yeah, overall, this is the easiest list that I could come up for you guys to, you know, have an easy time ranking up. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, peace out, y'all.